Hello everyone, Glenda Mollet here, and I'm in my craft room stamping with you today. I'm going to show you how I created this super fun card using the Seascape Bundle. There we go. Okay, things are working. They're going live. Yes. Okay, so this card uses the rainbow glimmer paper and the shimmer vellum. So you don't need a lot of extra bling on it, but I added a little piece of the just jade and gold ribbon, and I'll show you how I made that cute little fluffy tail thing at the bottom. And then the inside, I added a couple of die cuts as well. And this envelope, I did some stamping. Okay, so I'll leave that there so you can play along. I just got my other light. Excuse me while I get some light in that corner. There we go. Okay, we're good to go. The recipe for this card, besides a medium basic white envelope, is a piece of just jade that's 11 by 4 1/4, scored and folded in half, a piece of basic white 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside, and one 5 1/4 by 4 for the front. Then I prepared a piece of soft succulent cardstock that's 3 1/4 by 2 1/4 with some adhesive sheet on the back to do the coral on the inside. The rainbow glimmer paper is 2 by 5 1/4. Then I have a whole bunch of pieces. This is the pale papaya shimmer vellum, and it's 4 by 2. This is soft succulent shimmer vellum. Just trying to get the shimmer to show for you. And that's 1 3/4 by 3 1/2-ish. And a piece of the evening evergreen that's also 1 3/4 by 3 1/2-ish. A piece of soft succulent that is 5/8 by 4. Then I have a piece of rainbow glimmer paper to do the fish on the inside, and a minimum of 1 by 1 1/2. This is basic white for the sentiment, 5/8 by 2, and then I have about a 1 1/2 inch piece of the ribbon. Okay, so let's get going. I'm using the Seascape Bundle to create this card. It consists of the Seascape Stamp Set and Sea Life dies. Now these are a bit different, so I'm going to show you how excuse me, how to create the card and get the seahorse to cut out for me. Smooth sailing dies. Oops, I threw it. I'm going to use the seaweed one. And then the background is the bark embossing folder, and I really like how it looks like water. Just need to check one thing before I carry on. I have my machine ready to go. Okay, so let's emboss the basic white for the background, and I'm going to put it in my embossing folder like that. I kind of want it straight, so I'm paying attention to the line down here so I get it lined up properly. I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine. There we go. Go slow with that so it has time to manipulate the cardstock. Right, there we go. So this is kind of, it's sort of ambidextrous, but it does look different on both sides. This side I find more raised and bumpy, where this side is more subtle. So I'm going to use the raised and bumpy side. I really like it. Okay, so we have that. And we have our ribbon, and I'm going to put that right there so I don't lose it. These are the inside pieces. So I'm just going to put them off to the side for the moment. This doesn't need anything happening to it. except it's upside down. There we go. So that's going to go on there. I have to do some die cutting. Let me get my platform here so I can put my stuff right onto the platform and get it all set up to die cut, or as much to die cut as I can. Okay, I can't cut both of those at once, but I can put that one on. Okay, so this one is for the coral for the inside. I'm going to cut this out of that. The glimmer paper is for the fish, and then this piece is for the seahorse. There we go. So I'll run those through the machine. And I'm going to go nice and slow so it has a chance to cut all of that stuff. The seahorse sometimes takes a bit of persuading. There we go. We have the seahorse, and see, it won't come out. Now, are all those pieces? No, they didn't cut. Sometimes when I line things up on here and use other dies at the same time, it doesn't tend to cut through properly. So I'm just going to put it back where it was and flip it over, and I'll run it through again. Okay, and there's our fish. Get those off. That worked. And then this, of course, has adhesive sheet on the back, so it'll take a little gentle persuasion to get that to release. And this, I'm going to use my take your pick tool on, because it really helps things along. There we go. No, still, there's one piece. Okay, so now I have to cut the other piece. Hope I did enough, wide enough. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to run this through again. Hopefully that hasn't moved at all. These moved, so I have to reposition them. Make sure. Yeah, see, my seahorse moved. It's difficult to get the Post-it notes to grab onto the vellum. Let's see if I've got another piece of Post-it note here. I'm just going to get a couple fresh pieces and use them too. Either that or I have to go get another piece of vellum. Okay, so let's run those through and see how we do. I'm praying that that seahorse does not move. It did cut out a lot better. Oh, no. You know what I did? I hate it when I do that. I cut this upside down. See, the sparkle is, the shimmer is on the wrong side. I hate it when I do that, because usually paper is, you can use either side, but this paper, this specific paper, you can't. But the good thing is that you can't tell it's die cut the wrong way, and that might be to our advantage too. But I'm going to take my bone folder and just see if I can. What happens is the edges get stand up instead of being nice and rounded. So I'm just using this to lay those edges down a little bit, and then I'll just use it the way it is. I'm going to recut it. Okay, and our seahorse came off nicely this time. Take my Post-it note bits off, and I'm going to make sure the die is clean before I put it away. There we go. Oh, I forgot to put Do Not Disturb on my phone. I'm sorry. My apologies. Okay, there's that. Now, this is different because it doesn't release completely from the paper. Just getting the last of the little dots out. There's another one there. So it's still attached in some areas, but all you have to do is take your scissors and unattach them. So there's a spot here, and I'm just going to slice there. And there's a spot here to slice. It doesn't take much. They've built this in such a way that it's easy to slice. So there's a piece right in between the back fin and the head fin, and then there's a piece between the back fin and the tail. There you go. So that's all you have to do, just snip that. Now, this vellum does curl, so if you just take your bone folder and gently uncurl it, it'll sit down. But don't be too rough with it or you'll end up tearing his tail off. And you don't want to do that. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to get my glue dots on him so they have a chance to dry. And I'm just putting a little bit of, come on. Oh, there it comes. A little bit of glue here and on his cheekbones, just because I want his head to be glued down. There. It's not going to hold it because I'm going to have dimensionals on there too, but it's going to stop it from lifting. There. I'm just going to put that off to the side and let it dry out of my way. Okay, so we have all of our pieces are done. I'll stamp my sentiment, and I'm using the thank you from the Seascape Stamp Set, but you could use any one of those. You just have to make your sentiment piece bigger. And I really apologize for the interruptions. Usually I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, but then today I completely forgot. So I just need to go and see who that is from. Oh. Okay. Oops, wrong picture. There we go. Okay, let's put the lid on that. And this is going to go here. So I'm just going to angle cut it because I really like how the look when you angle cut. Okay, so we'll attach the embossed piece to the back or to the front of your card front. Front of your card front? No, to the front of your card. I was having such issues with that one last night. It just would not grab and roll. So I think I'm going to, it's almost finished anyways. I'm just going to get a new one. But for now I have the spare. Okay, so bringing in the card base, and I'm just going to get the glue off my thumb. Lay this on here like that. And then this piece goes on top of that. I should have made sure that it was the right size before I started doing this. It'll do. Okay, and I want the green part down, and I'm not going to put it in the center. I'm going to put it off to the left, just a hair. Okay, before I put it down, is it straight? There we go. Now, this is going to go here, And this, well, dark one first, and then the light one, like that. So I'm just going to put glue dots on the bottom. When I find the glue dots. And one there. And the next one is going to go right there. Now, some of these are just a tad too big for where I have them, so I'm just taking my pokey tool and rolling them back a bit so that the glue is underneath the bits of cardstock. There we go. That's one. Oh, there's the other one. I lost it for a sec. I lose it a lot. Make sure the glue dots go on the back, not the glimmery side, because you know, that's the way my day is going. Okay, that out of the way. Do our little bit of surgery on this one. I could have rolled my glue dot in half, but I didn't. There we go. So we'll put this on right about there. And I haven't pushed it down yet because I like to play with my stuff before I put it down so I know where it's going. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect. Okay, push that down. So that leaves the tops flowy, but allows them to not move. Now this is going to go on here, and I'm going to add dimensionals on either side of the rainbow glimmer paper. So it just floats on top of the rainbow glimmer paper and doesn't create a hump in the middle of my card. So that's going right over top of the bottom there, and I put, oh well, I put the angle on the bottom instead of the top like I did with the other one, but that's okay. And that's crooked. Okay, let's move that just a tad. There we go. Push that down. Get some adhesive on the bottom of my sentiment. We'll just put that right on there. Now, bring in my seahorse. And you see that the glue dots have dried now. And I'm going to cut some thin slivers of dimensional to go right there to hold him on. So it's really weird how the glue dots will show through, but the dimensional doesn't. Just bizarre, but that's okay. I'm letting it go. Then you put the star, what is this called? Seahorse on there, and you can see the glue dots through there a bit, but I'm letting that go. I'm choosing not to know that they're there. Now the ribbon is really cool. I'm going to get a couple of short chunks of tear and tape. And put one on one end on the front, like that, and one on the back, like that, just to hold it together so it doesn't fray everywhere. And then I just hold that and take my pokey tool and kind of fray it. It's all braided, so this is really easy to do. And I think it kind of looks like a mermaid tail, sort of, don't you think? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to try and get it up underneath there, but I just want to see. I just have to cut it a little bit. It's a bit too long. So I'm just going to slice it off with my ribbon scissors, but I'm going to do it right into my garbage can. So it doesn't go everywhere. There we go. So now I should be able to slide that right up underneath there. Oh, that's so cool. Now the liner will come off of both sides. Like that. Then I'm going to fold this little bit of extra over, get it off of my fingers, and then just kind of slide it up. You have to, oops, you have to persuade it to go in. It's not going to want to go in by itself. But if you lift that up and hold it up and just let it slide up there, and then move it to where you want and put it down. And there we go. Isn't that cool? Just a bit of whimsy for the front of your card. You could probably put it on before you fray it too. Okay, so there's the front of our card done. Now the inside, I'm going to put, first of all, let's get rid of these. I'm going to put the seaweed, no, coral on there. Just going to pull it up from the liner because I don't need all that. And it comes up really cool. And then put this on right at the bottom, like that. Now I do have to trim the sides off a bit, otherwise it's not going to fit. It's going to, like that. I think I'll leave that little extra piece hanging out there on the left-hand side. Get them off of my fingers into the garbage. And we'll put it right onto the card. And then I'll put my fish on. And see, there's enough room for those little hangover pieces to be still inside the card. All right. Now, did I push the, oh look, I was just checking to see if I had the eyes in or out, and I've got one of each. So I like it with the eyes in. So I'm just going to leave, and if they fall out, they fall out. Just a bit of Tombow. Now these fish are not ambidextrous. They cannot go both ways. That's why they have given us one going one way and one going the other way. There we are. Now we just flip it over and see. I can't have it upside down. It won't work. It has to go this way. We'll put him up there, and then we'll put this one down here. Oh, that's so cute. All right, there's the card. Now, let's stamp the envelope. And I'm going to use soft succulent for the coral. Now, I used coral on this one but today I'm going to use the seaweed and show you the difference because I love the seaweed. Wait, I need my dirty paper. Envelope, top. Now you could do this inside your card too if you want. I'm going to stamp it once, and then I'm going to lower it and move it over. Then I'm going to ink it again, stamp it off, and add some more. Love it. Love, 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 love it. And now we'll get some Mango Melody because that's the color of the fish on the inside. And we'll add some fish on the outside. And you can stamp right over top of the, oh, okay, some got darker. That's okay. Some are darker than the other ones. Fish are not all the same color, are they? There we go. So there's our 2 cards. Thank you so much for spending time in my craft room with me today. I hope you have enjoyed this card, and I hope you consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. You'll find a link in the description of this video. And also, pop on over to my blog and sign up for my weekly newsletters, and I'll send you 2 free card tutorials as my thank you. So Stamp and Smiles, have a wonderful day. Bye for now.